Hello and welcome to the Moodia Club. Today we are talking Project Zomboid. Joining me today is no one. There was a little bit of drama within the group, and it was a little bit too awkward to ask the people who played this game with me to join me for this discussion. So it's going to be a solo cast today. Alright, I think I'm going to be kind of down on this game, so I should kind of describe what I did. So all the Project Zomboid fans will be like, you were playing the game wrong. Okay, so I started out the game, and at first I was a confused scavenger, as most people are when they start the game, you know? I was trying to figure out just how to play, picking up trash on the ground, over-encumbering my character, sweating, and being terrible at the game. But I eventually got to a point where I should say I was playing with Claire and Joanne on Claire's server. So I was getting help through the game. And it got to a point where I felt we had set up a little base at a bait and tackle shop, and I felt I was secure enough in the game. Maybe not so much in the scavenging, but I understood the mechanics enough that I was going to play a role and fulfill it. So I played a fisherman. That's what I wanted to play. I wanted to see if I could do this game with no combat, no scavenging. What? Well, because I had two other people playing with me that could do the combat and scavenging. So my main thing was I was going to provide the food and like water and all that stuff for the base, and keep it well stocked so they don't have to think about the survival part and they can just concentrate on combat and scavenging. So I was a cooking, farming fisherman, and I found it kind of bad. I found it I found like I wasn't able to preserve food enough that we had electricity, but it would run out and the stuff would spoil, and I was trying to like cook recipes so everyone could eat and purify water and all that stuff. Anyway, it's I tried to get everything stocked up really nicely, but there was the frictions of the system were in such a way that I wasn't able to, just doing fish, wasn't able to provide enough food. So I was planning to do farming, but I'm not much of a base builder. I'm not much of I usually don't like that kind of thing, you know, planning it out and everything, putting down fences and stuff. So Joanne went and was building a fence, and I was tilling the earth and planting some seeds, but we never got to a point where we were able to harvest any crops. I was making a composter. It was never got to that point, so I can't really speak to the special, if that would have like solved the problem of preserving fish for a long time. Yeah, it was. So at the very end, I was talking with Claire, and she was saying that, you know, you shouldn't just be playing the fisherman. You should try to actually, you know, engage with the other systems of the game. You should try scavenging a little bit. So yeah, I went out, looked up like the best perks online to pick for like a stealthy kind of boy. I was a stealthy kind of boy. Walked up and removed zombies, but it felt kind of pointless. Because like I would clear out an area of zombies, and then in a couple days I would come back to the area and the zombies would be back. I was pushing against the ever encroaching tide of zombies. It felt like, well, I wasted all this weapon weapon thing to wipe out all these zombies, and now they're back again, and there's no way I can win. The zombies are there just to I didn't feel like I was stealthy and all that stuff, so I didn't feel like I never died as this character. I didn't feel like tension. I never put myself in areas where there was a lot of zombies, maybe like 2 or 3 zombies. I just eliminate those and slowly work my way through areas. So yeah, I was kind of bored, frustrated that I wasn't able to, remove the threat from the area. So, Project Zomboid. What my experience with the game, it's an interesting sim. I like the weightiness of the combat, and I like the survival mechanics and things. But honestly, my honest opinion is that I would probably rate it probably around a 2 out of 5. We don't do half marks on the Moodia Club. But if we did, I would give it about a 2.5. It was a pretty decent survival game in overstuffed genre of survival games, but it still needs some work. It still needed some things that, needed is I was expecting a certain kind of experience, and I guess I never got there. Maybe if I kept playing the game, I would have gotten there, but I put like 30 hours into the game, and I felt like we were just spinning our wheels. We weren't heading towards an end game of any kind. We were subsisting and not thriving. I don't know. It didn't. Everything kind of just plateaued. So yeah, 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. But now, at the end of the show, I will go into things I wanted when I was playing this game, because I could see this is a very solid game, and these are the things. Maybe these are already in the options, because I never hosted my own. I tried one game where I spawned in naked and in a burning house, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do these like solo modes until I'm more competent, and then I got more competent, and then I never went back to the solo modes because we were all playing together all the time. So maybe if I would have set up my own server or something, I could have implemented some of these things. Or maybe there is no options or mods. Also, we didn't play with mods. Mention that at the top. So this the things I was complaining about. Maybe people are like, oh yeah, you just have to download the preservatives mod where they know how to salt fish or bury it underground or something, and to keep it cool. Anyway, you could eat rotting fish, right? Oh well. Okay, so here's the things I wanted. First thing that was a bit of frustrating for me was I would clear out like the school of zombies, and then I'd come back and the school would be filled with zombies again. No thanks. After you clear out an area of zombies, I don't know. Maybe make it harder. Maybe make it harder for zombies to get in. Maybe like I don't know. But if you close all the windows, or if you board up all the windows or something, no zombie can get into the area. No zombie can be around the area or whatever. Zombies shouldn't be back in areas where you've already cleared. Just so you can feel like you're making progress. Yeah. So yeah, board if you board up, close all the windows, close all the doors. The zombie shouldn't be able to get inside. If you wipe out all the zombies in downtown, there shouldn't be any more zombies in downtown ever. Now I say that, but I think this is the way I looked at it. It was a kind of a connected map. There was a bunch of areas that you could spawn into, and they just felt connected to each other. So maybe there's migrations, zombie migration. Large herds of zombies pile into an area from a migration point and spread out into the area. But if that was happening, you need to be telegraphed. You need to be, zombie migration happening. Maybe a little pop-up. Zombie migration is spreading throughout the town, I'm fine with that, but there should be a persistent world population, So that could be like an end game. You eliminate all the zombies on the map, and then you're done. You've eliminated all the zombies. They can't make more zombies. If your character dies, they become a zombie. But if not, you've eliminated all of them. That's it. They can't make any more. Zombies are a limited resource. They have to live off of living humans. The way you could expand the population of zombies is maybe zombie animals. There's lots more animals than humans, right? So that could be something. Maybe it's humans to start, but the virus mutates or whatever, and is now can get into animals. And you trying to catch a fish, you catch a zombie fish. And now you're now it's trying to like flop on land. You get a zombie beaver, zombie shark, zombie deer. So those kind of things would be useful, right? But yeah, there should be a limited supply of zombies. Okay, so next up, town population seemed a little bit low. Like I'd be going through these houses and they were abandoned. There should be like 3 to 5 people, at least one person. Or if they're not, maybe it's struck during the day or whatever, not at night where they're at home in bed. Then the work areas, like the school, should be very heavily. There should be hundreds of zombies in the school. Now, this might not be good gameplay, but I don't know. Maybe set it up in such a way that doors are closed and stuff. Zombies can't get out as easily. Or maybe make them like I'm gonna get into a bit of stealth mechanics that I want, and maybe make those like little pots that you have to like pop. And it'll be kind of like a zombie migration. You pop them, and they spread all over the map kind of thing. They replenish the zombie population. And you hide good items in there, Maybe this school's got like a police officer or whatever has a gun for all those kids, of course, that come to school with a gun. I don't know. Population seem low. House density seem low. But these might all just be gameplay like things, right? Houses and stuff. So maybe I don't know. These should all everything I'm saying here should be like toggleable options. It shouldn't be like on by default. There's just things I want to be able to flip on for my own enjoyment. And even more so, realistic resource quantity. If you raid a police station, you should be able to find like a ton of guns. Maybe it's hard to get in there. Those are like locked up. You have to like have like 10 lock picking. But like they're assuming this in the States, right? I didn't look into it, but I assume so. So like there should be like tons of households that have like guns. Tons of households that have like a bunch of bottles of mustard. You'd be able to collect like hundreds of bottles or something, just things that aren't going to go. Lots of canned goods and stuff. It feels like you are like the first kid, right? The electricity's still on, the electricity of the town is still on. This is like day zero. Things shouldn't be this picked clean. You shouldn't open up a drawer and find one. You should find like 4. You should be able to find 10 wooden spoons in every household or something. Just be very abundant with the things. So if you're raiding an entire town, you should be raid an entire town, but also it should be harder to raid an entire town because the population density should be of a small town or whatever. So it should be, zombies should be maybe they're pretty deadly in the game, I feel. Yeah, they get bites and stuff on you, and they're big in a crowd. So why I want big in a crowd is big in a crowd. They're dangerous in large numbers, to say. What I want is a kind of a sound system. I don't know if this is in the game, but if it wasn't telegraphed very well. I think there's a vision system. There's definitely a vision system because there's like an eye that appeared, I think. Or is that like your eye and you're looking at things on the ground that are hidden objects, or having eyes appear, and I was picking up worms and stuff. Well, what should be happening? Well, should a toggleable option that I would like in the game. This is just stuff like this was brought in. Maybe I'd come back, or if it's already in the game, maybe I'll anyway. A sound system. The main threat of zombie, I feel, is that they are attracted to sound, and sound travels. Like, sight is good, but I don't think the zombie sight should be fantastic. Like, from a distance, what's the difference between the walk of a human and the walk of a zombie? Very little. It should be mostly smell, which is very hard to map, and sight. Sight is and sound. The humans are going to make sounds, and zombies are going to make sounds, and zombies should be attracted to other zombies. That's how they form up into these big groups. They should be attracted to each other. but they should also be attracted to the sounds of humans. A car makes a sound, all the zombies should piling in from very far away. You fire a gun, every zombie within 3 kilometers should be converging on your location, you know? There should be a way to visualize this so the players aren't like crazy, right? They're going crazy like, oh, I shouldn't have been able to, they shouldn't have been able to hear me through this. I'm thinking kind of those ripples like in Trials, something like that. You've seen it in other games as well. It ripples. This game's isometric. I guess I'm making this mostly for the fans, I guess, because everybody. This is isometric survival zombie crafting game. I should have explained that right at the beginning, but now I'm explaining it halfway in. The sound should ripple. It should ripple outwards from the character, and it should get like fainter as it like ripples out or something like that. And there should be a sound icon, like if you're not doing a ripple, you know, yellow, green, red, or like not appearing, yellow, red. You're like, that's a red sound. That made a lot of noise. You're gonna attract a lot of zombies. So the zombies should also have vision cones. I felt like I was playing Metal Gear, on the SNES, where I was like, I don't know if this zombie can see me right now. I'm going to try to approach them, and zombies should have vision cones. They should have vision cones. Maybe even they should have dots on the ground if you observe them for long enough that like plots out the route that the zombie takes, that the zombie's like walks, or if they're stationed, says like this is a stationary zombie or something. Maybe that's not that important because the zombie AI is not that complex, but maybe if you made it more complex, like maybe they'll like open doors and do weird routes. What I'm trying to say is I want a more of a, if we're going to be playing this game like a stealth game, when we're scavenging, and that's like the optimal way to play, it should have a lot of the trappings of stealth games. There should be distraction mechanics. There should be stuff, right? It just seems that the stealth lacking. I got bored playing stealthily, and I felt like my work wasn't, and once again, stealth game awareness markers. You know, if the zombie sees you, there should be a little like exclamation mark maybe above the head, because sometimes you're playing with sound off or stuff, or you have other things going on in the background, and the little like that the zombie makes when it like sees you or something. I got caught out quite a few times because I'm like, oh, I don't know if this zombie saw me, and they're like, oh, it definitely saw me. Shoot, should have been more stealthy. Oh, picking up my worms in the forest. So yeah, a little like awareness marker to see how stealthy you are, to make it easier to stealth. So yeah, these are all like toggleable things, or maybe they're like hidden underneath like an upgrade tree. And I'm gonna outline kind of an end game that I see for this game, because it didn't feel like there was an end game. Maybe there is. I never got there. I kind of like plateaued in this like mid game slog. So maybe if I felt like, you know, you play Factorio, you're building a rocket or whatever, there's got to be, you're got to be working towards some type of end game. So I'm saying in this game, the end game should be the cure, right? That's what all zombie fiction is like. They're obsessed with. They're obsessed with the cure. So I think there should be 2 ways to get the cure. There should be the raider and the scientist. So I'll go with the raider way, because this is probably the way that most players will play. You know, so raiders they go into like the most. It's like 9 levels of like security doors. They have to find like a set of ceiling torches or whatever to burn through them to even like get in the building. And then when they get in the building, they're like, oh, this is what it was like the last holdout of humanity or whatever in this like lab, and there's like tens of thousands of zombies or something inside, and so it's a slog, and you have to like work floor by floor to slowly clear out this building of zombies. And when you finally get it to the top, there it is in pristine condition. It is the cure, and you're like, yes, and you can pass it along to your other comrades, and you found the cure, and maybe there'll be like some text at the end that says like, you found the cure, and now you're able to maybe go back to your station, and you're radioing in to the last like bastion of humanity, and they're like, wow, you did it. Our scientists will come in and take that cure, and we'll come in a chopper and pick you up or something crazy. I don't know. And you fly away on a chopper, good at ending credits, you know. So that's why I kind of see the Raider end. This is like kind of like the stealth survival focus. Like, you know, they're good at hunting. They're good at not so good at farming, but they're going to be good at like stealth. They're going to be good at like just going full Rambo and taking out a lot of people. They're going to be good at like maybe like cars a bit, but maybe not so much. Just cars enough to like get to the location and then be able to stealth around in that location or whatever. This will be like the point where they like unlock all this like extra stealth ability to be able to like take out multiple zombies at once or something crazy like that, you know. And they get like a super shotgun, and they're able to like take out like lots of zombies at once. But you know, it's not going to be like completely action crazy combat, because the weightiness of the combat is very relaxing, very no, it's not relaxing, it's the opposite of relaxing, tense. Keeps the tension up, you know. You're like, oh man, am I gonna finish this swing in time? Hordes of zombies should still be dangerous to you, well, you know, to a point, when ammo runs out eventually. Also, yeah, they should be able to manufacture their own ammo. You know, people do that quite easily. You should be able to manufacture anything you find on the map. But of course you should have to, you know, have the resources and stuff. Things are going to be very difficult to find. Things are going to like wow, where am I going to find lithium? Right? I hope I can find enough lithium to make this or whatever. You'll have to like make with what little like rare earth metals you can find. But you should be able to like break things down, like. And as I'm saying that, I'll get into the next one, which is the science. So the scientists are going to be making the cure. It's going to take, you know, really hard to find rare resources of some kind. It's going to take a lot of technology. That's going to make a lot of noise, attract a lot of zombies. So they're going to have to like, this is like the base builder. This is like the self-sufficient base builder. Like, you're playing Dwarf Fortress now. You're like, you have like a single opening to your super lab by the end of it, and you're like fighting off the hordes that like break through like your 6 security levels and are going down into your mines over that you're mining these rare earth metals from. This is the base builder. This is like what's that game? I can't remember it. Another colony sim game. You know, you build like the bandits come to your camp, but you build like elaborate traps to like remove all of them or whatever. This is like engineered kind of thing. The other one's like action, stealth. You know, these guys, you're like, wow, I wish I could get the 6th battery so I could like finish making this thing. That will not do anything, but it will be a part in this like machine that I will have to power with like a hydroelectric dam to make the cure or whatever. You know, it's a huge thing, but it's but you'll be much more safe, and of course it'll be like a split between these kind of like play styles in the game. You know, maybe some people be raiders, collecting resources to bring back to the science that are like building up the base. And kind of like how our game, like a superset of how I assume, well, how I was trying to play the game. I don't know how most people. That's how I was. So yeah, what does the cure do? Maybe you want to like continue the game after the cures. Well, obviously, main thing is if you're bit and you don't want your character to like die, you can use the cure, and boop, they're cured. They're fine. Yeah, you know, yeah, it's a super healing agent as well, making like a big fall if you can like jab yourself with the cure fast enough or something. It's like very good. I'm thinking maybe for the raiders on that path line, it could be kind of like a VATS, like super speed, super serum thing. If you use it when you're like it heals you up, and then you know, while after you like are at full health or whatever, then it's like boom, you get like this super speed, super like restores fatigue and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you're just it's an action game at this point. It's an arena shooter, it's a shmup, it's a Vampire Survivor. The hordes are coming, but you're laying down so fast that they can't do it. But that cure, it took so much to produce, and you have a very limited supply of it. Are you gonna pop the cure right now and try to save this character as you're getting swarmed by the horde, or are you gonna come back with like the character that and try to retrieve it and be like, no, I gotta save this for a rainy day? It's it'll lead to a lot of hoarding, and yeah, exactly. I think it's interesting. And then the cure for scientists, I think they should make little soldier guys at their base, get little troops and outfit them, and then give them like tasks and a schedule, and like, but then you'll have to like feed them and house them and stuff, and then they automatically attack people. Maybe you can like use that like you can super scroll out the camera and like control click and select people to do like squad tactics and stuff, like Company of Heroes or something. Tell them to like hold cover and like remove an emplacement or something of zombies. Have some micro over the control of them, or just set them up as like worker drones in your lab or what. But yeah, I think like the cure, you cure the people and they're like, oh wow, we'll work for you. Or you cure them and you've like, oh, their brains are fried, but we can like hook up these like machinery to them, make them do our bidding. Or so they can make you can make soldiers if you're a scientist, or you could be a super soldier, an army of one if you're a raider. Okay, so that's a pretty cool like post game. So more post game. What about a meta multiplayer mode? This is a post game. So you've done the thing, and then it's like you are the raiders. You get picked up by the helicopter, and you're like, okay, now where are we dropping, boys? And you get to click on a map, and then there's an event where like raiders show up on the map. Yeah, they're gonna start taking. Maybe your guys are just starting out as scientists, and the raiders are gonna just try to barter for a bit of like food and stuff with you, and then like, hey, we'll clear out a little bit of this map for you, and and then we're gonna be on our way. Or maybe they'll show up and kill all your scientist characters, take over your base, and just squat there forever, and it'll be terrible, but it'll be hilarious and be good. So obviously this would be an opt-in thing. Just the amount of disgusting toxic things that could happen in this like crazy like post-game meta like invader thing. So yeah, the raiders just go around taking things from people. Scientists can also do that. Maybe you can like send out a squad of soldiers that you've made using the cure, and you take over that squad and you go and you like take things. But obviously raiders are going to be better than these like skimpy soldiers, right? If you ever run into raiders, you're like, we're in trouble now. Or maybe you never get to take over the things, and you have to do all this like, you have to be super zoomed out, and you have to do all this like control clicking, alt clicking to try to get your stumbling soldiers to actually do what you want. As the raider just pops vats and takes out like most of the squad that you spent so long to build, So the pops vats being they use the cure, the very rare resource that is limited. Maybe also ups evasion for them. It's basically all just to make them super survivable, super deadly. So yeah, raiders can obviously like barter with the scientist because maybe they'll want more cure or whatever. Or they can just try to be another thing attacking the vaults, the scientist vaults, to take the cure just by force. Like the raiders can never make the cure. Well, I guess you could. I guess like no. I think you should, if you go up in a certain area of expertise, I think I should like lock off. Like you're either a raider or you're a scientist. You can't be like an army of one just doing it all, you shouldn't have to, maybe army of one have to do it all. I don't know. Maybe make that up to the host of this or whatever. Yeah, and then the game is over in this meta version when there's no more zombies left, or or something like that. Like, you know, they're like, we've cured everyone. we win. You'll be able to launch like virus to cure it. So all that is like crazy things that I want in the game. That I was like, this is got I like the base of this game. It's a fine base. It's right there at being a completely good survival craft kind of game. I'm not into those kind of games. As I said, 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. Jeez. No, 2 out of 5. The 4 out of 10. If I could do 5 out of 10, I would, but no half stars. So, yeah, and yeah, that's my little talk about Project Zomboid. Yeah, see you guys next time.